You know the names: ICEE, Slush Puppy, and Dippin' Dots. They're iconic frozen treats that have literally defined childhoods for generations, and behind them all stands one leader who started 45 years ago delivering and servicing ICEE machines. Today, Dan Fashner leads a $1.5 billion snack empire as the president and CEO of J&J Snack Foods. It's not about spreadsheets or shareholder reports. It's actually about something far simpler and far more powerful.
No matter what you do, care for people. Show them at every level that they matter. It doesn't matter the position. We all play on the same team.
That message, care for people first, has guided Dan from the delivery route to the corner office.
This particular day, I'm just looking out in the crowd and I'm grateful for the job that they've done and how hard they've worked this year, and just got a little emotional.
In this episode, you'll discover the exact leadership moves that help Dan rise from the field to the C-suite.
I feel like we do the right things. We care for people, care for customers, care for consumers. The business will be there.
Get ready, because Dan's story will change how you think about leadership, loyalty, and what it really takes to win in business and in life.
No matter what you do, care for people. Show them at every level that they matter. It doesn't matter the position. We all play on the same team. We all have to do our jobs well, but caring for people. I never have a problem being in front of people. I've been that way my whole life, but this particular day, I'm just looking out in the crowd and I'm grateful for the job that they've done and how hard they've worked this year. And sometimes, the results and efforts don't always match. So sometimes when you've had a little bit of a tougher year, people have worked harder, right? And years when you have great years. And I could just see it in their faces. And you're looking out amongst the crowd. You see some people that have been with you through thick and thin, and just got a little emotional.
What kind of feedback did you get from your team after you shared that message?
They loved it. I wanted to hide from it, right? You saw it on LinkedIn. I didn't want to post it, but our team felt like it's the best thing to post that I've ever done. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes being genuine is better than not being genuine. I started off as a service technician delivering locations for ICEE and servicing the equipment. But you always had to be prepared. I was always finding a way to be prepared for the next role, and then also preparing somebody to take my role. You can't be promoted if somebody doesn't follow behind you, right? So coaching those behind you and finding that person that has that special sauce that they can come in after you and maybe even do a better job than you did. Every Sunday night, I list their initials on a remarkable. It's an electronic note taker, right?
Okay. Yep.
And I list them on a remarkable, and I'm always making a list of those things that I want to talk to them about, things that come out through the week. We have one-on-ones every week. And then weekly, I also have them send me a list of what are those things that you didn't get a chance to talk to me about. Let's not catch up on everything that we caught up on throughout the week, but catch me up on that thing that you forgot, right? Gosh, I'm wanting to say this to you, Dan, but I haven't had a chance. So they're able to send that to me once a week.
Okay.
That generates some of that thought process about how we manage each piece of our business.
So are you sending them, this is just getting in the details here, are you sending them that list on Sunday night and say, when we talk, these are the things I'm thinking about, and then they send them back like what they're thinking? And so when you're more prepared for the conversation, is that it?
Yeah. They'll typically send me this, what I forgot to tell you this week kind of note, at the end of the week, right? These are the things that are important that either we talked about and didn't come to closure somehow, or we just didn't get a chance to. Long ago, I got to this point where I just don't want anybody to think I'm too busy to hear their needs, right? And that's how you run a business. So I started this process. And then Sunday night, I'm making a list, and throughout the week, I'll talk to them about that list. I'll have a literally one-on-one.
Okay.
I'm calling them while I'm in the car, or while I'm on the phone often. I try to make use of every last minute of the day.
You know what I like about that? So many things. One is it's collaborative in nature. You're not just getting on we're going through these things. They're preparing what they want to talk about. You're preparing yours. You're kind of meeting in the middle in that conversation. And that's a hard thing for leaders to do when you're in the field and you're having a lot of conversations. So it's great to help that collaboration continue even when you can't be there in person. but you're preparing for those conversations.
They're busy and I'm busy, and I just don't want the good conversation to get lost at that, right? Or something that they wanted to say to me. And often, in roles like this, there's issues that come up, and kind of the policy that I've always lived by with the folks that work for me is bad news first, right? I'm not going to promise that I'll love the bad news, but I won't shoot the messenger. But bad news first. Good news when we talk, that's great because it's good news, right? Bad news, let me know right away because maybe I can impact it, right? Maybe there's something that I know that they don't that we can do that impacts that bad news. We get vision from getting out in the field and seeing what others are doing, right? We don't get vision from sitting behind our desks with the doors, right? You don't sit back here and all of a sudden this light bulb goes off and says, we can be doing this. You get out in the field and you understand the marketplace. And as you understand the marketplace and what's changing in the marketplace and how you can fit in with that, that's how you get vision. We're about to release a protein-enriched pretzel. So, a traditional pretzel is about a 7-ounce pretzel. It will have 10 grams of protein in it.
That's a great protein.
It is.
I'm one of those protein people.
Right.
And a lot of the bars are like 10 grams of protein. So you're like right in the sweet spot.
Really good about it. In addition to that, getting out in the marketplace, because when you do grow up knowing each part of the business, you don't want to micromanage, right? And I really am not a micromanager. So I had to learn how to turn loose of some things and coach people, not micromanage them, but coach them through some of the decisions that they're making. Let them still do what they know what to do and bring their ideas to it because, as we evolve, people come in from the outside. They bring some great ideas that can make us better. Be willing to accept those ideas, help coach them through, maybe some pitfalls that you've seen, mistakes that you've made, but turn loose, right? Give them some guardrails and let them run.
Was there ever a point where people didn't see you as like the future president of the company? And they're like, well, no, Dan, he's really good at doing deliveries or stocking stuff. Like, what do you need to do? Like I'm thinking about people who get pigeonholed in their career. They're so good at one thing. And what did you do to continue to rise in the organization and not be seen as just the person doing that specific job?
You always have to be preparing for the next step, right? And you have to be a constant learner. Even today, in my role today, I feel like I've got to be learning all the time. For me, it's sitting on some other boards and seeing how they go about doing it, watching other leaders lead. I'm an avid reader. I still will probably read somewhere in that 20 books a year. Books that help me continue to think through things and understand ways or maybe new ways of doing stuff, or even maybe if it's a refresher, maybe it's a leadership book that, you forgot over the years and it says, I remember when I did that, and so you have to be a constant learner, the ideal team player. The system just talks about being humble, hungry, and smart, right? And how you want to have people that work for you that are humble, hungry, and smart. Humble's humble. Everybody understands that, but not everybody is able to do that. And so finding somebody that's humble in the way that they go about doing their job, even the way that they interact with other people or they act with customers, right? So somebody goes about that job in a humble fashion. Hungry is hungry, right? They're wanting to get to the next level. They're either trying to make the next sale, they're trying to make the plant that much better. They want to get the next promotion. They're finding people behind them that are ready to take their job. They're that hungry, right?
Yes.
And when I say smart, I mean smart in EQ, not IQ. People who are able to read the room, understand their situation. I talk about situational awareness. I love sports analogies, right? And so I love situational awareness. So if you grew up playing baseball or you played any baseball, and I think people who ever played can relate to this. If you're playing shortstop and you get a ground ball hit you, you know where you're throwing that ball, right? If there's somebody at first, you're tossing it to second, right? If you're playing center field and there's a guy at second base and you get a pop fly deep into center field, you're coming up throwing for home. Understand the situational awareness, seeing around corners, right? You understand when we get to this corner, what's going to happen? What could jump out at us? Do we understand, the pitfalls that could be there, the headwinds or the tailwinds that we have?
Can you share with us a story or an example of when you're able to see around the corner for ICEE or Dippin' Dots and how it paid off for you guys?
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the ICEE and the calorie content. We've always been considered real high calorie content. And so you could go back almost 2 decades ago where I was really pushing our syrup suppliers to try to pull down the calorie content, right? Find ways that we don't have to advertise, but that we're doing the right thing. So when we do get challenged, and we're in an environment right now where you might get challenged about that.
Sure. Yeah.
So that you already positioned yourself in a spot where you can say, hey, we're already doing that, right? We've already stepped up and done the right thing. More recently with Kennedy talking about taking out some of the colors and having to do that by 2027, we're done. Right? We didn't have to do a lot. We're done. We're seeing around corners.
Oh, you jumped on it. You were already on it. Okay.
We're there. Yeah. We're way ahead of schedule. If we care for our people, we care for customers, we care for consumers, we're caring for our business, and we continue to grow year in and year out. What I want Forbes 500 cover to say is J&J continues to grow.
Keeps growing, keeps caring.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting. What I don't hear is profitability. And I guess we're assuming we're going to be profitable. We're going to be growing, but we're going to do so in a way that reflects our value of caring.
Each one of those things grows profitability. You do those things right, the profitability comes along with it. You start with the profitability and do all those wrong, you're not going to get there. I feel like we do the right things. We care for people, care for customers, care for consumers. The business will be there.
That's a sustainable leadership model and business model.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I guess I'll enjoy some Dippin' Dots soon and think about you guys, a little ICEE at the movies.
There's a lot of great products. When you're at the movies, grab the ICEE and the pretzel, maybe a churro while you're there too.
I want to get the protein pretzel. When this thing comes out, I'm going to be in line for that.
Yeah, we're about 3-4 months away, and you're going to love it. It tastes great.
Dan, thanks for coming on and lead the team, my friend.
Yeah, Ben, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciated it, being with you today.